Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both Mikes.
Hey everybody, welcome to Both Mikes.
Hey folks, Both Mikes is a show about nothing and everything. That is Mike Sofka.
And that is Mike Taylor. And together, we're Both Mikes.
We are Both Mikes. Welcome to show number 128. 128. A show of Both Mikes, heard everywhere podcasts can be heard. Give us a listen, give us a shout out. Tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your friend's mom that you can find us anywhere.
And you could find video on YouTube.
Yes, we are on YouTube.
Spotify video.
Cool.
We repost those things on Twitter and Facebook as well. And on the website, of course, as well.
Yes, bothmikes.com. Go there and check out our merchandise page. We have all kinds of fun things. Yay, Both Mikes. Yay. I got merch.
We just talked about this in 127.
Yeah.
In 128 here, the Bret Michaels situation.
Yeah.
Did want to address that. They canceled the show. He had some reaction to medication or something. You're going to see them.
Yep, going to see them tomorrow, July 2nd.
So by the time somebody's actually watching this, you will have already seen the show. So
it was excellent. Yes, it was a good show. Yeah. I'm actually. Do you remember Bret Michaels' show, Rock of Love?
Yes.
Did you ever watch it?
I try not to watch that crap.
Well, this was what, 12 years ago, some crap like that. I watched it. I watched some of it just for the fact that it was Bret Michaels' Poison, one of my probably top 10 favorite bands, top 15 somewhere in that nature, in that realm. But excuse me. But there's not a co-host or like a handler that he had in the show. His name was Big John. Old school Marine, who's also his bodyguard through most of the Poison tours. And I'm friends with Big John on Facebook. I know him from the Monsters of Rock cruises. He actually just went through a heart transplant surgery.
Wow.
And, big boy, like 6'4", 6'5" in that realm, and probably on the upper side of the 200s. But definitely a big boy. And still friends with Bret Michaels, one of his best friends. And he said on Facebook that it was a dehydration thing and that he actually wasn't in the hospital. He's fine. He's okay. It was even reports that he had COVID-19.
Yeah.
And so that didn't happen. Just some dehydration issues from just doing what he does. You know, he's diabetic. He's been diabetic since he's been a child. And he's got the monitor. If you ever see video of him at any of the shows, on the back of his right arm, he's got one of those little monitors that you kind of hook your phone up to, and it tells you what's going on as far as your blood.
Right there.
You have one?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, you take it off every 14 days, so it's best to alternate arms, but it's good for 14 days. Yeah.
Well, shit, dude. I had no idea you had one.
Yeah, I've been on this for a couple of years. Well, actually, about a year. Check that. Maybe about a year and a half. I like it. It tells on you. Like through Bluetooth, it'll automatically alert you to check because your shit's high or low or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
My niece and my nephew, my sister's kids, both found out they were diabetic at 15 years old on Labor Day weekend. You know, it wasn't. They're not the same exact age or anything like that. But when they turned 15, Labor Day weekend is when they found out that they were diabetic, and
mine's not type 1. Mine's obviously type 2. You know, I ate like shit for many years, and physically abused my body for many years. So I'm sure that's all comes into play.
Wow. Yeah. Well, he's Bret Michaels works out. He's lean. He watches what he does, and I'm sure he drinks. It's not a good thing. And it catches up to you. Dehydration. He's doing these concerts, and they're the second band on. So at 5:00, it might be a tad bit cooler than your 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, but it's still hot as balls. And every one of his concerts. Last night they were in Nashville. Before that they were in Charlotte. Then they were in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. They did a show in New York. And then the other 3 shows, Miami, Orlando, and Atlanta, hot. We're talking, he's getting on the stage. It's 95 degrees out. And the sun is beating on him.
And when you said that guy Big John had mentioned about the dehydration, I've been there. I've been at shows where I've been in the crowd, and I thought but because of adjustments and medications recently or whatever, it can affect your ability to stay hydrated. And some people even confuse that with something called POTS, POTS. But basically, what happens then, as you become dehydrated, when you go to stand up, if you're sitting or if you are standing, you're going down. Your body will shut down because your blood pressure will drop way down. So that's the same thing. And the only thing you could do is hydrate. Now, you can only hydrate at a certain amount. Like, you usually have to take not a couple IVs. You usually have to take, and it's not something you could just go back and drink a bunch of water. It sounds that way, but all you're going to do is make yourself go to the bathroom a lot real shortly.
Yeah, because water goes. They also say not to drink cold water, to drink, room temperature water, because your body actually has to take energy away from you in order to warm up the water, in order to absorb the water into your system. So cold water might feel good right away, but it's not the best thing for you body wise, because the heating and the absorption. But yeah, he great guy. I've met Brett 2 or 3 times over the years, and
you guys are on a first name basis.
Yeah. It's hey you, and hey I know you, and you're that guy. And like, yeah, and
from that thing.
Yeah. But yeah, he is a little over the top, and I've always said if someone's on all the time, it means they're usually on something. But I don't think it's the case with him. But he's just over enthusiastic about everything, and it's a little, he gets on stage and he starts pointing to everybody. He's like, kind of drives me nuts. Like, yeah, you don't know that person. You point at me like you don't know me.
He knows that makes the people feel good in the crowd. That he pointed at me and nodded affirmingly, and he's at that point in his career where that's the difference in still being out there playing or not, because the people that are in our bracket, we traditionally have the highest income bracket, so he can afford to charge a more premium for his shows and so forth. He might sell some merchandise, and so it's all about that connectivity. The targeted audience is right there. They bought the ticket already. They're there. Make them feel good about what they did. They spent a shit ton of money to sit on the field at this show. So he gets it. Even though he's not the headliner, technically. I mean, he gets it. I like that.
They're getting the most praise, too, of the most energetic show. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, Motley Crue has some physical stuff going on with Tommy Lee right now, right?
Yeah. He's and They told the story of what he did to break his ribs. Oh crap! What was it? It was something stupid. Like, he fell down the stairs.
Nice.
Dumb old man fell down the stairs.
Nice.
Yeah. With his
59-year-old
ass.
Another musician, Travis Barker.
Yeah.
Travis Barker was hospitalized recently. Blink-182 drummer.
Yeah.
Pancreatitis is what they're saying.
Wow.
But, supposedly Kourtney Kardashian, his wife, the recent past here, is by his side the whole time ever since he was brought to Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles on June 28th. She put out a statement, "Thank you to everyone who has reached out with concern to my ex and father of my children." This is a thing from his first wife, Shanna Mokler. She was there as well. Their kids were there. He has teenage kids, and she has kids with him that are 16 and 18 years of age. Alabama Barker and Landon Barker.
Okay.
And then she has another child. I guess it's maybe by Oscar de la Hoya. I don't know. Child's 23, and the child's name is Etienne de la Hoya.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, he's had a lot of trouble in his past and stuff. If you look at the pictures of him, he's tattooed everywhere. But back in 2008, Travis was involved in a plane crash that took the lives of 4 people, including 2 of his close friends. A deadly incident left him with third-degree burns all over his body, as well as PTSD and survivor's guilt. That made it difficult for him to fly again until 2021 when he accompanied Courtney on a trip to Mexico.
Wow. Yeah, he's kind of a cool guy, you know, good band, Blink-182. It's one of the bands that I'd like to have seen but never did have a chance to.
Yeah.
And I hear they're hitting a rough patch right now. But yeah, he's also kind of gone off the deep end. Some of the clothes he's been wearing lately.
You know, I noticed in the past 10 years or so, he had a weird adjustment to his life, and I guess maybe that's when he divorced what's her name, Shannon there, and before he hooked up with Kardashian there, I guess. I don't know.
That a plane crash will kind of change things, you know. Yeah.
Are you a crypto guy? You don't buy crypto? Do you follow it?
No. You know, and we've discussed it in the past. I think it's a Ponzi scheme that no one can explain. So yeah, I kind of keep my cash away from it.
Well, if you know, which is Mikeism number 1, that everything's fake, and you go into it knowing that, you know, it's like going to Vegas. You know you're there to get taken. It's just a matter of how much money are you going to let them take. Okay, honey, I'm going to leave the room with $400, and that's it. Then you get the elevator at Caesar's Palace, like I saw the guy with the chick up by her neck, feet off the floor. Give me the fucking money I told you not to give me. You get that. But, no, if you can have that type, it's the same thing here. All right, I got a couple $100. I'm gonna play a couple thousand, whatever your level is. But if you look at it like that, I think.
Well, yeah, it's
betting on a horse race or whatever. You know, it is what it is.
It's a matter of entertainment and a matter of what you want to spend for your entertainment. You know. Look at the show I'm going to tomorrow. I probably spent $400 for the 2 tickets I got. You know.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And after the show, what do you have?
Right.
I
have a memory.
Yeah, I have a memory. Well, guess what? I've seen Motley Crue 25 times. I've seen Def Leppard before. I've seen Poison more than 10 times. You know, I've seen all these bands. You know, it's no different than going and putting $400 on black. You know. It's your entertainment value for it. Yeah. So
according to CoinDesk.com, Coinbase.
CoinDesk.com?
CoinDesk.com, yes.
All right.
Coinbase is reportedly selling geolocation data to ICE. Watchdog Group Tech Inquiry reported the new details about a 3-year contract with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Crypto exchange Coinbase, that's COIN, that's how it's traded, the analytics program Coinbase Tracer, will provide the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, otherwise known as ICE, with data about crypto users, including historical geo-tracking data.
Interesting.
The contract adds detail to what we've previously known about the 3-year deal between the crypto exchange and ICE, the law enforcement arm of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Yada, 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 yada. So whatever that means, yeah, I don't see how that would affect me or someone else, but I guess if you're using those exchanges for nefarious uses and you figured out that you can do the same thing with somebody in another country maybe, doing business that way. They say that's the way they tamp down the prices of these. Like they tamp, you know, when Musk goes out there and says, "Oh, I'm all in. My company is going to take this and I'm going to buy this amount," you know, Dogecoin or Bitcoin, then it goes up and down and now he's getting sued for that. But I think that's the way they tamp these down because they know there's devaluation of the currency here, and they're tamping these things down by saying if you use this, you're dealing with, you know, felons, you're dealing with criminals. Maybe they could take your shit too. You know, I puts a fear into it, I think.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, I wouldn't have anything to hide, but I'm kind of concerned now that, wow, they're doing deals with the government to track me and my money, track me and my expenditures, track how'd you get this money? Why didn't you report taxes on this money? We need to, you know, stop. None of their business. That is going to bring us right into our second favorite part of the show, though.
Uh-oh.
The alien update.
Alien approaching. Warning, biophysical experiments extremely dangerous for Earth people.
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien too, but I think he's an alien. You could be an alien robot, right? Like not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, the alien update is where we talk about people who I think are aliens or have direct contact with aliens or have had direct contact with aliens. These are people out of the 7 billion people on the planet. These are the handful, the 6 or 7 or so that seem to have more money, have positioned our culture, our society through technology and other means to a point which we haven't seen ever. And it seems almost miraculous that these handful of people out of 7 billion have been able to orchestrate all this. So I think they're aliens. I think Musk, Gates, I think
Branson.
Who else am I missing here? Oh,
Zuckerberg,
Bezos, all these
Washington,
guys.
Franklin, Jefferson.
I think they were too. Yes, I think you're right. Well, supposedly Elon's been in hiding on Twitter. His Twitter has gone dark.
Really? My sister's actually going on Virgin Voyages. I think next week, 13th. Yeah, she's going on a cruise, and she's going to check out the Virgin Voyages. So Branson's brand new cruise line, or a couple months old, and so I'll have to report back on what she says about that. Then the following cruise is Branson's going to be on that cruise.
Really?
So I have some friends. Yeah, my travel agent, and he has a group going. I don't know if they're calling it the President Cruise or something like that. But Branson's going to be on and heading up to festivities on the Virgin Voyages, the Scarlet Lady, out of, I think, Miami. Yeah, out of Miami. So.
Wow, dude, that would be great if you could get a picture with him wearing your both Mike shirt or something.
Right.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, but I won't be on that cruise. I won't be in Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, so my travel agent's going with the group. I'm not going.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if I was going, I'd have the both Mike shirt on and be knocking on his door.
I would want to take a look at like the back of his neck, see where if there's a spot where the batteries are put in, or
the USB.
Yes, the USB spot for a little disc or computer chip in the back of the head there.
An old school floppy.
Well, according to Bloomberg.com, Musk, who now is considered the Tesla Inc. chief executive officer, of course, he's just surpassed 100 million Twitter followers and is generally obsessive tweeter. He hasn't posted anything for 9 days. He's simply gone missing.
Interesting. With the whole,
I find it interesting. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, with the whole, I'm going to buy Twitter, I'm not going to buy Twitter. Get to work Twitter. No more staying at home Twitter.
Taking a short Twitter break wouldn't be cause for an alarm, this article goes on to say, under normal circumstances. But as they've written before in these newsletters, the little about Musk's current situation is normal these days. Not only has he been tweeting almost constantly for months, but he's also in the midst of buying the service he suddenly disappeared from for $44 billion. It's an odd time to go silent, they're pointing out.
Is he on vacation? The guy could be, maybe he's in Antarctica looking for a tunnel.
I don't know. I just think it's curious. He has a lot of impact on things that go on in this country. I mean, this guy's the world's richest man now, right?
Maybe he's on Virgin Voyages with Richard Branson.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you can. I would think you'd be wanting to put your best foot forward on that if this is a real deal where you've really bought this company and everything.
Probably on
he
vacation.
did just have a SpaceX rocket go up last week, though.
Here or in Texas?
I don't know, but his private jet has been in Austin, Texas. We know that kid from UCF tracks that stuff since June 23rd. Let's see here. And he did just have a birthday. I think it was the 29th or the 30th. I think he turned 51.
Wow.
Born in 1971.
What a year. Hard Rock Cafe, founded in 1971. Disney World, 1971. That's all I got.
Well, there you go. I mean, that proves he's an alien right there. All right. So speaking of Musk and one of his companies here, SpaceX, according to CNBC.com, so this must be true. FCC authorizes SpaceX to provide mobile Starlink internet service to boats, planes, and trucks.
Yes. It was actually a big deal about a month ago. All kinds of clamor that people in RVs and stuff are using the internet and stuff. And there was a thing with the FCC because it wasn't regulated or permissive for mobile use, only stagnant, houses and stagnant use.
Well, I talked to you about there's a way that I'm going to try to get this service, even though there's a year wait right now. There's a way we found around it that we can get it quicker, supposedly, but they're smooth on it because that's what people are doing. They get a location where they can say they're going to be based, but then once you're there, you can move the thing all you want.
Right.
So they put you on a longer waiting list, for depending on your usage. But they're pretty wise to people getting through that step, right? You can avoid a year wait. Just anyway.
Well, good.
Crazy stuff, dude. Can you imagine though? You can go anywhere in the world, and you're in the middle of Wyoming where there's no coverage or anything. You got everything you need, internet, everything right there.
Right. Yeah. No, it's part of you now. To be connected all the time. You want to know the weather. You want to know anything. People email you, text you. It's instantaneous. Well,
of course, SpaceX has launched about 2,700 satellites to support the global network, with the base price of the service costing users $110 a month.
Wow.
As of May, SpaceX told the FCC that Starlink had more than 400,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So do the math on that.
Right, 400,000. Well, just add 2 zeros.
Yeah.
40 million.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money, dude.
40 million a month. A month.
That's not a bad gig if you can get it.
Right?
Wow. The ruling did not resolve a broader SpaceX regulatory dispute with Dish Network and RS Access, an entity backed by billionaire Michael Dell, over the use of the 12 gigahertz band, a range of frequency which used for broadband communications. The FCC continues to analyze whether the band can support the growth of ground-based and space-based services, with SpaceX pushing for the regulatory to make a ruling.
Yeah, that was the thing that Dish Network, because Dish Network, I think they pay. There's like a different subscription level for it to be moved in a bus or a RV, and people were getting around it by using the Starlink. So yeah,
crazy times. There's just a lot of options out there. If you want information or to get on the web, there's a way to do it. This is just going to make it easier.
Well, God, Brenda takes care of like we divide our bills up. I have the internet and I have the phones that I pay for, and she pays for the cable TV or the fiber optic TV we get from AT&T. And it's like $140 a month for TV. I'm like, really?
Save that, dude. Just run it from your phone, dude. That's what we do.
And like, I'm like, I can't believe. And then we get something in the mail from Dish Network. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. One of these 2-year contracts, and it'll be real low price. And I look and I'm like, okay, they got the low price one is like $60. And I'm like, there's no channels. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And the only thing I want it for is the boys. And
but you don't want your TV to come through that, dude. It's too slow.
And so the big package, that has the channels that the boys want, is like
same as cable.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's $110, But after the FU fee and the other fee and tax, we're back at $144 a month.
Yeah. And then when it rains real hard, you ain't got shit.
Yeah, with the dish, yeah. But I'm happy with the AT&T, but I'm like, it's just too much. I go, we should not be paying $1,500 a year to watch TV,
right?
TV was free at one point.
Well, actually, you can still get it free. You just have to buy the right antenna. You can get one for like $25 on Amazon, and you can plug it in. I've done that as well. I got one of my TVs hooked up for that. If I need local stuff and it's free, I got it on one of the TVs, and I can still use that TV to mirror everything on my phone, and I could run programming off my phone. I got just about every channel in the world for like $20 a month on my phone. Then I can mirror this to my TV.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do that? Because I'm like you. I don't watch a lot of TV, but the things I watch, I need to watch. I'm involved in a lot of sports stuff and a lot of stuff like that. So there's certain times I have to watch TV.
Yep. Yeah. Not me. I avoid it. I'd rather be doing other things.
I hear you.
But,
I guess I only watch so much TV, but I usually have it on, while I'm doing other stuff in the background or whatever. But
yeah, my wife does in when she this is her office, and right there's a 32-inch TV, literally 6 feet from me, and she'll sit here, do her thing, and she's kind of watching that. She likes all those murder shows and 48 Hours and crap like that.
Murder porn.
NCIS. Yeah. Makes her think. But yeah, it's too much. And of course the Paw Patrol and the Bubble Guppies and all that crap the kids want. Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of Twitter, Radio Shack. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, I thought Radio Shack was done, dude.
I thought so too.
Have you seen one anywhere lately?
No. I've seen what used to be Radio Shacks.
Yeah.
You can tell by looking in it and like, okay, this is an old Radio Shack.
This is according to NBCnews.com, so it must be true, of course. Electronics retailer Radio Shack said it was not hacked on Twitter after a series of tweets filled with vulgarities and expletives caused widespread confusion.
Okay.
In fact, the person behind... What's that?
They meant to use vulgarity?
Well, in fact, the person behind Radio Shack's official account tweeted Wednesday that they knew the tweets would go viral because they were fire AF, which means as fuck.
Right.
No, we didn't get hacked, and no, I'm not fired, the tweet read. The company is now a crypto platform called Radio Shack Crypto, which promoted many on Twitter to speculate that the posts were a way to get publicity. The brand's name was trending on Twitter Wednesday afternoon and into Thursday. Taking the second half of an edible after feeling nothing from the first half is always a bad idea. The chocolate bar got me out there fighting for my life, one of the tweets read. So this guy, who's in charge of all the social media for Radio Shack, is telling you he's been eating edible marijuana stuff and he's been real high. I mean, I know there's a segment of the population that find that funny, but this is not the regular way we're used to seeing companies do business.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know if it was intentional or not. You and I now know that Radio Shack still exists.
There you go. I had no idea.
Like you've always said, just spell my name right. Yeah.
Well, the company filed for bankruptcy twice in about 2 years, from 2015 to 2017. In 2020, Radio Shack was bought by Retail E-Commerce Ventures, a Miami-based company that has attempted to revive distressed retailers like Pier 1 Imports, Modell's Sporting Goods, and Steinmart. The Radio Shack Twitter account is going wild. It's like a 4chan post over there. Surely this new edgy online persona isn't a carefully crafted corporate plan.
Yeah, kind of.
But
kind
they're
of obvious.
right. And that's what I've always said. You know what? Write an article, say I'm an asshole, whatever. Write, this show sucks. Do whatever you gotta do. Just spell my shit right.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I'm surprised now. You know what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna go find this shit. online. I'm going to go, you know what I mean? I'm more interested now.
Right.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I thought they were gone.
What else do I got here now?
Hey, now.
I did that one already here. Sorry, I'm clicking my link here and it was a little bit slow. So there's a guy out there who calls himself Bitcoin Jesus.
We need to get a both mics Jesus.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, I have one. I've interviewed one on the What's Hot for Florida platform. The video's up everywhere at the Rockville. He goes to shows.
Well, that's Mosh Pit Jesus.
Mosh Pit Jesus, yeah. Oh,
yes.
both. Oh, you mean a brand? Like maybe I should advertise on that guy. Get a sticker or something.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got to work something out there. Maybe I'll buy him some beers or something. Crypto exchange CoinFlex says Roger Ver, aka Bitcoin Jesus, is behind the underwater account that forced it to halt customer withdrawals. So there's this coin exchange here, CoinFlex. They said that this high-profile investor running a negative balance with the crypto exchange is Roger Ver, a longtime Bitcoin evangelist. Ver is also known as Bitcoin Jesus, has denied owing anything to the exchange, implying in a tweet yesterday that CoinFlex actually owes him money. CoinFlex halted customer withdrawals due to liquidity issues stemming from a large account that was running a negative balance. So, like when you see Bitcoin and everything dropping by 25, 30%, this guy's impacted because he's ass deep in it.
Right.
So what does he keep doing? Like most smart investors, you buy low, you sell high. So every time it drops, he buys more.
Interesting.
Which is counterintuitive. You know, you want, oh my God, I want to get off the ship before it goes down. No. Ride it out. Buy more shit. That's how the rich get richer, man.
Bitcoin is up $38 today.
Yeah, well, it's at 19 grand. I mean, a year ago it was at 60.
Yeah. Let me see, 6 months. Ooh, yeah, steady decline.
Yeah, that's why I was saying in 127, and you were going to want to go back and check out show 127 because I did make some comments on this about the fact that there's a systematic tamping down of these because of the devaluation of the dollar, the U.S. currency through the central bank. This is a controlled demolition of an economy, folks. If you haven't caught on to that yet, email me. I'll give you more information. I'm not going to make Mikey on here. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, be careful of Bitcoin Jesus and where you're doing business with your stuff there, because it's kind of like Mike said, it could be a Ponzi scheme, and I see it. But if you can get in and get out and make some money, yeah. But we're greedy. We want it all, so we're gonna try to ride it out and see where this can go. And yeah, it's like going to Vegas, man. It's like I said before. If you don't have the money to spend on it, don't do it.
And Dogecoin, 6.7 cents a share, and that's down 2 cents. So yeah, really think about it. At that point where it's 6 cents a share or 6 cents a Dogecoin, and it goes up to $1, you could be freaking rich just on that. You know, if you have enough.
If you own only $20,000 worth,
yeah.
I mean, think of that.
Yep.
You could take $20,000 and multiply that by 20. You'd make $400,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Done.
But, it's got to roll that way.
Yeah. Yep. And when will it roll that way?
Right. You got to know it. That's why there's lawsuits against Musk now, because he knows he could control it by speaking.
Well, you could turn around and say the same thing about who was the Greenspan?
Ben Bernanke, Warren Buffett.
Oh yeah, Warren Buffett or a Greenspan back in the day. He would say something, and the freaking market would twitch.
They ran the world basically.
Yep.
Crazy. So there's two. You and I, had a long tenure in the food service industry, in the restaurant business, in the full service restaurant opportunities. Yeah. There's two restaurants that have come up recently, one in Portland, Oregon, and one in Honolulu, Hawaii. These restaurant chains illegally shared tips with managers and supervisors, and they owe back wages.
Wow. Yeah.
So these companies have been keeping tips somehow, or keeping a portion of the tips.
Well, they do have control over some of it because of tips that go on credit cards.
Yeah, and I think there's it's the way tips are done in pools. See, according to Hawaii Tribune-Herald.com, customers' tips in to restaurant staff for good service are the private property of those workers in the tip pool, such as servers, bartenders, and other frontline workers. Any attempt by management to misuse a portion of these tips violates the tipped workers' wage rights, Wage and Hour Division District Director Terrence Trotter said in a statement. The U.S. Department of Labor is determined to protect workers' right to keep all their earnings and prevent employers from gaining a competitive edge by reducing their labor costs. I think that, that's a situation where there's tip pools, but any tip pools that I've personally been involved in, like the bartenders got tipped out of a tip pool, the food runners and all that. So are they saying, okay, then the managers who are on salary were stepping up going, well, we get a share of that too. We're in the building. I mean, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I was even surprised. I worked at an establishment that you tip the hostess, and they make a regular hourly wage. They don't make a tipped wage. And also we're tipping them.
Yeah, but if you were a mover and a shaker and a player, that's one of the first things you did when you got to work. If you were a server, you tipped the hostess. Why wouldn't you? Hey, how you doing? I'm just letting you know I'm here. I'm on shift. Here's a little something for you. Go buy yourself something. Give them $10 or whatever. If I can get good parties that way. Yeah, is it ethical? No. But you know what? That's reality. If that person has a choice to sit this table that might be a big table, spending a lot of money, it's a birthday and all this stuff, wouldn't that be a smart investment on your part to do that ahead of time? Because that person is making the decision for your livelihood. Do I sit them here or sit them there? Well, the system says sit them here, but that guy over there gave me $10. They're going to sit over there.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm too soft-hearted to think that people would do that.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy.
I've never tipped for nefarious reasons or to get an upper edge. I've never done that.
Oh man, that's how you make the big money in that shit, dude.
Now I know. Here we are 20 years later.
You got to work every angle, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't do that very often at the RFC, but I have done it. But even when I learned how to wait tables, that's what I was taught to do. It's like the etiquette that we talked about, the guy running the sports pools. You should tip him a little money. He's handing you money, a bulk load of money. You should give him a little money. It's the same thing. You have to tip the bartenders and the food runners, right? Why wouldn't you tip the person who's making the critical decision of what customer you're getting? Why wouldn't you tip that person? I think it's great, but yeah, the manager stepping in, taking the tips. No, I'm out on that.
Yeah, not good, not good at all. I've seen a video on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook, that what's that guy's name? Gordon Ramsay was in a restaurant, and he was talking to this young girl, probably not even at high school, and she's waiting tables, and she had to share her tips with the owner, and Gordon Ramsay, of course, blew his fuse and went off on the guy, and the guy was like, not on the level. You could just tell the guy was a snake, and yeah, so Gordon Ramsay had a talking with the guy, and the guy basically threw Gordon Ramsay out of the restaurant. I don't need your help. Get out of here. So, idiot.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I feel for people. Everybody's trying to make money, but when you're taking the money from the person who's working as a server in a restaurant, let's face it, a lot of people in the restaurant industry, this is like their way of life until they get to a different point in their life, or maybe this is a transition for them or what have you. There's a lot of single moms in the workforce, single dads, single parents. There's a lot of situations across every type of rainbow of the spectrum.
The fact that it's flexible.
Yeah.
And hey, my utility bill is due next week. Let me pick up an extra shift. Hey, I got something going on. I need to drop a shift. I need to give away a shift.
Yeah, you might as well go, and when the customer leaves, how they used to, it's becoming less popular now with cash, but you might as well have just gone over and stolen the tip off that table from that person. How can you do that, dude?
Right.
See, that I wouldn't do. There's no way.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I thought it was a great job. We were just lucky enough to be in one of the busiest restaurants in the state, and you can make.
Hey, when you're at a restaurant that's doing $40 million a year, has 2 kitchens, has 200 servers, I mean, come on, dude.
210 servers and 54 servers on the floor at one time.
That's freaking moving, dude. And things aren't cheap on that menu either.
No. And that was the first time I saw a $10 hamburger, and I thought that was outrageous. 24 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably $18
24 years
now.
Ago. Yeah, probably. I see that on like basic menus now, a $14 hamburger. So I can imagine what it is there at the RFC. And 54. I'm a numbers guy, so 54 servers on the floor, including bar and patio, 5 bartenders, 10 busboys, 5
2
up,
kitchens.
5 down, 2 kitchens, 2 full kitchens, 10 hostess, 5 up, 5 down, or busboys. What's the other one? Would be servers. Yeah. So 10, 52, probably 3 or 4 managers on the floor at all time. Front of the house, back of the house, same thing. Then you got your cleaning crew. As far as there's always like 5 guys back there washing dishes. So amazing how that machine works every day.
Yeah, we used to do the same thing back
every day.
Where I was taught these etiquettes, like tipping the hostess and stuff. You used to tip the cooks. You go back to the main guy and give him $20 or whatever, and then they would go and buy beers for everybody in the kitchen or shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what you did. That's how it worked. That's what you do. Just like the customers showing you appreciation, now you're showing appreciation to the people around you that helped you get that. Because you can't do it without the support staff in a restaurant. It doesn't work. Anyway, all right. I'm off my thing now. All right, so we've talked in the past about this Green New Deal and the shutdown on cows and methane, and we've reported on cows dying all of a sudden in Kansas, giant herds. Mystery, they died of heat stroke in 87-degree weather and stuff like that. Well, according to phys.org, that's phys.org,
okay,
the holy grail of a catalyst has been found, turning methane into methanol under ambient conditions using light. So they're saying they can convert this into fuel. Well, then I don't understand.
How do you collect said farts?
Well, I'm not saying they're out there physically collecting the cow's farts. They've just got the technology to take methane and other things, and of all things, a methane gas, which is harmful to the environment when it's released or leaks into the atmosphere, where it's a potent greenhouse gas is what they call it. But they're saying that methane, that atmospheric methane, include fossil fuel production and use, rotting or burning biomass such as forest fires, agricultural waste products, landfills, and melting permafrost. So I think what they're saying is they can collect this air content, like, how big industry back in the day, we used to have the smokestacks, and wherever you went to a big city, they had smokestacks and smoke billowing out of these things. Well, it's not much like that anymore, but you can't see these things in the air. They have a way of collecting this stuff out of the air and turning it into something positive. I think it's a good thing. They say it'll be a versatile carbon source and is readily transportable as a liquid.
Interesting.
It can be used to make thousands of products, or such as solvents, antifreeze, acrylic plastics, synthetic fabrics and fibers, adhesives, paint, plywood, chemical agents used in pharmaceutical and agrochemicals. The conversion of the methane into a high-value fuel such as methanol is also becoming more attractive as petroleum reserves dwindle. So yeah, get a cow. Here's what you do. You get a cow. You get one of them 2-liter bottles, and you just open the top, dump that shit out. You don't need the Coke or whatever it's in there anyway. It's bad for you. You stick that bottle right up a cow's ass.
Okay.
And then every time the cow farts, the bottle will flex a little bit. And after, I don't know, you have to figure it out. It's trial and error. Maybe 10 farts in a thing. I don't know. And then you just pull it out, you cap it, you get another one. And you start collecting this gas in these bottles. So it's the same thing, except they're using a 2,500 gallon tank on a plane. Yeah, I like it.
Interesting. Or you can just like use hoses, how like in a cow milking facility, they have all the, the things hooked up to the udders. You can just have all the cows lined up with his hoses in their ass.
Yeah. No, there you go. Just go ahead and bring in the vet and just make an extension of that process.
Get a butt plug with like a fitting on it.
Yeah. Do you know why they pasteurize milk, by the way? You know why have you ever had raw milk?
No.
Supposedly it's better for you, and I've had it. It's illegal. It's a federal crime to have and sell or, exchange raw milk for products or services or trade. I know somebody in the Central Florida market that have been doing it for years, and I don't like that person. I've been tempted to, make a phone call or two, but I haven't. It's not my business, so I let it go. But the reason why they pasteurize milk and the reason why you can't sell raw milk is they can't keep the poop out of the milk.
Well, that makes sense. Just you got to figure out how many cows, and yeah.
So I get it. It's kind of sad though that we live in a country that, here's something same thing with moonshine, they want to make sure they can tax it. They can't tax, grandma going out to the 2 cows she's got, milking them, bottling them, and selling them at the farmer's market. They can't tax that. They want to. That's what the problem is, I think.
Interesting.
Anyway, they say it's better for you and all that raw milk. I don't know that for a fact. So we had talked before about Google and about Pixel.
Never.
IFixIt. Well, IFixIt and Google are launching an official Pixel parts store.
Okay.
Well, I guess because the Samsung and Android and all that, or Pixel's carving a name for themselves with Google in the phone market. So they're going to get with iFixit to make it more readily available that you have parts. You can do it yourself, or you could take it to iFixit and they'll fix your phone. I think that's the most frustrating thing when shit don't work on your phone, right?
I've been lucky, knock on wood, that like I said, all the phones I've ever had, this one's the first one that's ever cracked, and it's such a small crack that you can't even see it on here. It doesn't bother me one bit, but we've talked about it before. It's almost time. My wife's phone and my own phone are coming up on 4 years or past 4 years. They're paid for and all, but
I'm thinking of treating it like a used car. I'm thinking of getting a refurbished one that's better than what I have now, but with these 200 megapixel shit they're coming out with, I might want that.
Is that a for us or for iPhone for 200 megapixel?
Oh no, that's for Samsung. They're coming out with it. We talked about it. We talked about it in 126. You should watch the show sometime, Mike.
I should. What's the name of the show again? Both what?
I think it was 126 or 125. Both mics.
Both ends.
Yes.
Both ends.
BM for short. It looks like the iFixIt they're offering screens, batteries, and rear camera assemblies for the most parts of the Pixel phone, along with smaller odds and ends like adhesive and cooling graphite tape. Wow. Despite the official partnership with Google, we wouldn't call the iFixIt Pixel store a comprehensive source of Pixel parts for the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, yada, yada, whatever. Anyway, I think it's a good thing that you can go to a physical place still. And, okay, let's say I'm going to work and there's some sort of problem with my phone. I need this little piece. I need that or this, and it's specific for that phone. I think it's great that there's a place you can actually go to, a brick and mortar that you can actually go to and not have to wait a day or so for the Amazon to bring it or whatever,
Right. So when is the new phone supposed to come out?
What's that?
When is this new phone supposed to come out?
I don't know. We talked about it on 125 and 126. Yeah. Go back.
I think I kind of remember like October for some reason.
Sounds right.
Yeah, they're still trying to sell that phone that folds. You go on Samsung, it's right on their homepage. Get $1,100 off. Wow. Yeah, they're selling it for $599. That piece of crap that folds in half. Don't want it.
It'll keep dropping because they got them in boxes everywhere. I'm sure.
Yeah. Usually $1,899.99 from $599. Galaxy Note 9. Yeah, we need new tablets. We need new phones. It's going to cost more than I want it to, but so be it.
Yeah, go with the pre-owned stuff, dude. Go with the reconditioned stuff. You can find it. You just got to find a place you can trust, whether it's online or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes your phone carrier, just get it with them. If you're on T-Mobile or you're on AT&T, right?
Yeah.
What's AT&T stand for again?
At this time.
Oh, works at this time.
It works at this time. Yeah.
Well, there's another company on the horizon here, according to TechRadar.com. The Nothing Phone. The Nothing Phone is a flagship. Just look at like the Pixel 5. This phone is kind of cool. You can kind of see through the phone, which looks kind of cool. But here's my deal. I don't think they have a partnership with any one phone provider, like a T-Mobile, like a AT&T, like a Verizon or what have you. They don't have a single partnership, and they're using an operating system called Snapdragon 778G Plus.
Yeah.
Might not be the best processor out there or even the most powerful offering in the current 7 series. Yada yada. It doesn't have to be. Nowadays, most mid-range silicon is so capable that the quality and fluidity of the user's experience delivered is indistinguishable from the more robust and more costly top-tier SoCs made by the likes of Qualcomm, MediaTek, and Samsung. So they're saying it may not be as good as these phones, but it doesn't have to be. If you're looking for the grocery getter phone, I guess this would be the modern day version of the jitterbug phone, where they know you have some sort of phone experience, but they're giving you a cheap pared down option so you don't have to buy all the bells and whistles.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think this Nothing Phone is something to watch out for.
Look out for nothing.
Well, that's our show too. We have a show about nothing and everything. Well, there you go. Where else have you heard about the Nothing Phone, Mike?
Nowhere.
There you go. See? Yeah. See what I'm saying? Oh my God. We got about 6 minutes to go here, 5.5, something like that. So are you going to run out this weekend and buy new phones, new technology?
No. Like I said, we got the concert tomorrow. My sister's up, so hanging out, barbecuing, usual.
Nice.
But yeah, and don't give my wife any ideas because she'll be out tomorrow, freaking buying phones.
Hopefully, she won't see this in time.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about it like in passing, like here and there. Well,
right.
Like, this, that, and the other thing. And I guess the iPhone 13 is coming out, she wants to get that. And, I'm kind of due for a phone, and I don't know. So we'll see what happens. And then, of course, the boys, I got a tablet like 4 years ago, and we have a Amazon Fire children's tablet with the cushions around it. So one kid uses one, the other kid uses the other.
Nice. All right.
They only get it on the weekends, and during the week, no. It's get to school. And
so are they playing a game when they're using it, or what?
There's a YouTube for kids, so it's kids YouTube, I guess, and they watch.
So you can kind of restrict what's on there then.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
So it's but meanwhile they're watching freaking Transformers on the regular TV, people on fire, things blowing up. They'll watch that, and then of course we'll restrict what they watch on the tablet.
Sure. Right. Exactly.
But yeah, like tomorrow they know no school, so they come in and into our room, which something I've never done to my parents, come into their room. Yeah. They come in and they jump in bed, and then they realize there's no school, so they go marching into the bathroom where I have the tablets plugged in, and they bring the tablets over, and Nikki cries and screams and carries on because he can't turn it on, and I'm half asleep. So I'll take the tablet and I'll turn the tablet on, put the password in, and get them set, and then they're happy, and we can sleep in listening to two different tablets bark off, kids opening boxes, unboxing toys, the regular stupid videos, Baby Shark in 15 different languages,
Nice.
All that stuff. And, we'll get an extra half hour, 45 minutes of kind of sleep. So
I'm glad that a lot of people are going to be able to hear this, because this is going to save a lot of people a lot of money later on down the road.
As far as what now?
No, it's like not everybody's carved out for that. You know what I mean? Not even, especially at this point in your life. I commend you for being able to do that and wanting to do that. It's not, I think at our age we're thinking more the grandparent type thing where you borrow the kids for a little while.
Right?
They're not there all the time. So I think it's great. I think it's cool. I think it's great to hear stuff like this, because I forget I don't have kids in the house period anymore.
Right.
I mean, so I'm in a totally different zone right now, so I kind of, I get together with the family, and, we get together and stuff so much
nieces,
as you can,
nephews, etc.
But it's not an everyday morning, noon, night occurrence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now they're always here.
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with, what's up with that?
I thought it was very strange when Xander was born. I'm like, and Xander being my third child. I never thought this with the previous two. Like, I can't believe, like, this little guy appeared in the hospital and they're letting us take him home.
Right.
Like he's ours. Like, what the fuck? What's
crazy?
Wrong? Yeah. Yep. And here we are, 4.5 years later.
Well, pretty soon Amazon will bring you your baby.
Right. The Amazon stork.
Yes. They'll just, that's what they're going to do. They're going to, you watch. Because that way everybody can have a baby, whether you're physically capable of having a baby or not. Watch.
My neighbor
We'll probably be dead by then. I don't think it'll happen in the next 20 years, but maybe it will.
My neighbor just adopted 2 boys.
Oh.
And they had 4 kids. They had 4 kids already. And I'm like, how does he do it?
Did he? Or now he didn't go to like another country and pick them out. I mean, it wasn't like that.
No.
Right?
They're 7-year-old twins. I'm
Wow.
not sure. Yeah, I haven't talked to him. My wife talked to him, briefly, and was introduced to him. But I got the questions, and I have no problem answering them. Why, where, who, what, when.
I mean, I'm happy for kids that age that get adopted and they're twins, so they were able to stay together, which is huge. But at the same time, it's just a bad and sad situation. Thank God a guy like this was there to be able to pick that up.
And he works. He works a blue-collar job. His wife is a stay-at-home. They have four teenagers or close to teenagers now, and now they have 6 kids in the family. Like,
wow,
how do you cut the mustard on that?
Well, it could be anything. It could be a family situation maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would assume if you're having 4, you're going to 6. So and so is going away for a little while. We need somebody to take over the kid, stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure that happens all the time with drug use and crime and stuff. I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just saying.
They're all possibilities.
Even the simplest things out like that.
They're all possibilities.
Crazy, dude. Well, thank goodness a guy like your neighbor's there to pick up the pieces and help these kids out. I'm trusting it's a good thing for everybody. So.
And what's even stranger is that he has one of his sons is Xander with a Z.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Xander is typically with an X, short for Alexander, but our Xander is not named after Alexander. We just like the name Xander, and we call him Z.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we worked with a girl, her name was M?
Yes.
And I always thought like her name was Melissa or something, or I guess it was Emily. Emily was her name.
Yeah.
And everybody called her M. Well, everybody calls our big guy Z.
Nice.
Z.
Nice. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here. 128 in the books already.
I'll
Jeez,
see you,
getting
folks.
old.
Right. 28.
Stick around after I'm done. After I hit the stop button here, Mike, just for a minute. I know we normally do anyway, but just stick around for a minute. 127, 128 in the books. Wow.
The first week of July.
Go check out my friend Gino Losi if you want to catch some monster fish in Florida. Check out my friend Dustin Levine at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Do something good. Go to community theater, make a donation, buy some advertising. And check out my friend Night Fan Stand over at Jet Set Printing in Orlando for all your printing needs. And check me out at HallOfFameFantasyFootball.com or Winning Fantasy Football. It's that time. It's that time of year. And if you want to win some money, hit me up on the website. Look at the Facebook group. Find us on YouTube, Winning Fantasy Football. All right. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time real soon.
Ciao, folks.